Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nur Anissa Azhara. As a Master of Ceremony on this special occasion, let me tell you about our agenda today. The first agenda is opening ceremony. The second agenda is singing Indonesian national anthem, Indonesia Raya. The third agenda, opening remarks by Vice Dean Academic Affairs. Third agenda, public lecture by Prof. Dr. Aldona Glińska-Newes and Imanuella Andilolo, MSc, Ph.D. Fifth agenda, token of appreciation delivered. And the last agenda is closing ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, as what we usually do to make this agenda will be filled with lots of blessing. Let's start this agenda by saying Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The second agenda, we will begin our program with the singing of the Indonesian anthem, Indonesia Raya. Please stand up. Thank you. Please sit down. We will now proceed with the opening remarks by the Vice Dean Economic Affairs, Faculty of Economic and Business, University of Mataram, Mr. Diswandi, Ph.D. To Mr. Diswandi, Ph.D., the time is yours.
Good afternoon everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Head of Departments, lecturers, my beloved students, and also the speakers for today's public lecture. We got here Professor Dr. Aldona Glińska-Newes. She is the Vice Rector for Cooperation with Social and Business Environment at the Nicolaus Copernicus University in Toruń, Poland. Also we have Ibu Imanuella Romaputri Andilolo, MSc Ph.D. candidate. She is a lecturer in the Department of Management, Faculty of Economics and Business, University of Mataram, and also students in Department of Economics and Management in the Nicolaus Copernicus University in Toruń. Also this afternoon, among us, we got Professor Dr. Presmislo Nehring. I'm sorry, Professor Nehring, to pronounce your names. It's really hard. He is a Vice Rector for Education in the Nicolaus Copernicus University. So we got two Vice Rectors here in this room. So we are glad. Give applause for them. This morning we got the MOU signing with the Rector and also we plan to make a collaboration in the future. Hopefully we can go together for like education and also community services, research, publication. And this afternoon is the first activity, I guess, the first activity that we have in terms of our collaboration, which is the public lecturer with the topic of sustainable tourist behavior, expectation versus reality. We know that Lombok especially is a tourist destination, which is very famous in the world. Of course, as a local people here, we expect tourists who come will have a good behavior, but we don't know, we cannot control how people will behave. And today's in this seminar, in this public lecture, Professor Aldona and candidate Dr. Imanuella will discuss with us about this, and you guys will have opportunity to ask questions and discuss together in this room. I would like to thank you very much, especially for both Vice Rectors who came to our faculty this afternoon, also for Ibu Ima who bring the Vice Rectors here. Also, I would like to announce that our faculty, the Faculty of Economics and Business, University of Mataram, has just become a member of AACS. You see at the corner, the green one, AACSB membership. Give applause for that. This morning when Professor Nehring explained to Pak Rector that they are accredited with the AACSB and AMBA, I will also with my pride saying that we also become a member of ASSB. Since when? Since 24 hours ago. This just one day ago we become a member since the 1st of July. Okay, hopefully in the future our faculty will become more famous and also become in Bahasa Indonesia we call it akreditasi unggul or excellent in many services that we promote and we do. I think without further ado, I will finish my opening remarks now, and then after this we are going to listen together the very interesting lecture for this afternoon. By saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I officially open this public lecture. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon.
Thank you to Mr. Diswandi, Ph.D. for those inspiring words. Before we go to the next agenda, maybe we're gonna take a picture together. To all of the guests, all of the lecturers, please come in front of us to take a picture together. Please, for the lecture, untuk Bapak Ibu mohon izin, boleh segera ke depan untuk mengambil sesi foto bersama. It's okay, you can join because you also is the guest. Okay, please be closer and we're gonna take a picture together. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. One more, maybe. 1, 2, and 3. Another pose, maybe. Another pose. It's a little bit monotone. Okay. Yeah. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, thank you so much. Maybe one more, we're gonna take a picture with all of the participants, maybe, please, for all of the lecture and guests. No. They're not going anymore. Not really. For all of the participants, please be closer in the middle of this venue, please. Kumpul di tengah ya teman-teman, lebih merapat ke tengah. Okay, come miss, you're in the middle. One, 2, and 3. Smile. One more. 1, 2, and... Okay, one more I think. Or it is enough? Okay, enough? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, you can come back to your seat, please. So, it is now my pleasure to introduce our distinguished speakers for today's public lecture, Miss Professor Dr. Aldona Glińska-Newes, and also Miss Imanuella Andilolo, MSc, Ph.D. They will be sharing their insight on sustainable tourist behavior, expectation versus reality. Let's welcome them with a round of applause. But before it, I want to read a little bit about their curriculum vitae. Professor Dr. Aldona Glińska-Newes works at the Faculty of Economics and Management of Nicolaus Copernicus University in Toruń, Poland. She is also a Vice Rector for Cooperation with the Social and Economic Environment. In the years 2060 until 2090, she served as Vice Dean for International Cooperation and Development. And since 2090, she has chaired the Discipline Council for Management and Quality Science at NCU. Her research interests lie primarily in the subdiscipline of organization behavior, including building positive relationships in an organization and interorganizational cooperation, the impact of the cultural difference on management, and the social involvement of business. Imanuella Roma Putri Andilolo is a lecturer at the Management Department, Faculty of Economics and Business, University of Mataram. Currently, She is doing Ph.D. at the Faculty of Economics and Business and Management and Nicolaus Copernicus University in Toruń, with a research topic on management studies. Please once again welcome them to this public lecture. Please give them applause. For Miss Imanuella Andilolo, MSc Ph.D., the time is yours.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I always have a weird sensation holding a mic because I feel like I want to start off doing karaoke or something. So nobody sings, please. Yeah, maybe I'll sit down. Do we have the slide on the? Okay. Right. So just a background on the our presentation for today. Okay, thank you. So I am currently a PhD student, and Professor Aldona here is my supervisor. And so both of us are going to present. First, Professor Aldona is going to start with the, talking about sustainable development, and later on I will start with explaining about what my research, part of my research is about, because if I'm here talking about my whole research, this 2 hours is not enough. There'll be 2 days, no sleep. I think, Aldona, I think I'll pass it on to you first.
Thank you. I'm really honored and pleased to be here with you. Selamat pagi. Apa kabar? Indeed, things go so quickly. This morning, we have signed the MOU. Yesterday, you became a member of IACSB. And look, now there is the first lecture from Nicolaus Copernicus University, which is IACSB accredited already. So, seriously speaking, I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to be in Indonesia. It's my third time to this beautiful country. Even though this cooperation with your university has just started, our university has collaborated with Indonesian universities for some years now. And it's really, really fruitful and satisfactory cooperation, including students' exchanges. And I must tell you that Indonesian students are always the best international students that we receive. And we are very proud of you. We are very proud of our alumni. And we are going to meet some of them this afternoon. So it's a really great pleasure. Thank you for introduction and short explanation of my position and my research. In fact, now I do my research mostly on sustainability in business, including individual behaviors and how they contribute to sustainable development. Myself, I focus mostly on employees, and I'm going to talk about, briefly, about some results of my recent studies, and then after I will give the floor to Ima, because her perspective is on customers. However, I don't know what you are going to speak about. It's my assumption that it's going to be about customers. But indeed, we can start. I believe there is no need to convince you about the problems that we face nowadays, but as promised, we start with sustainable development. So climate change and all other bad things that are happening now, like decreasing biodiversity, environmental pollution, and social problems that come together with all these environmental issues. So these are probably the most urgent and significant and greatest challenges that humankind faces. That's why this, let's say, umbrella concept has been proposed by United Nations, sustainable development. I believe this is like the umbrella concept, because under this we can think about different more specific solutions, policies, practices, also concepts like corporate social responsibility, corporate community involvement, responsible business, and so on. Circular economy, quite recently implemented, not really, but there is this policy in European Union to start implementation of circular solutions to make resources circulate, not lose them in the process of production and consumption. So sustainable development, it's the best definition that we have. It says actually the essence of this concept. It's meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. I represent business studies, organizational studies. So that's why I focus on organizations and particularly businesses. But it's not only because of this. Actually, organizations may be blamed for most of the problems created, both in the environment, but also in terms of social inequalities that come together with globalization. But at the same time, organizations can also make a change through implementation of different environmental management systems, policies and practices that may help to save the environment, or at least to reduce these harmful effects that are created by businesses. So there is also this concept of triple bottom line. So I believe it's, yeah, one more, yeah, thanks. I forget, it's not, I'm not controlling the slides that the audience can see. So it is crucial to harmonize these three elements: economic growth, social inclusion, and environmental protection. And this is what we call triple bottom line. And in fact, in sustainable businesses, they all should be met. So these three values should be included in all policies, practices, strategies, etc. Yeah, next slide, please. Maybe this way. I like this term of micro-foundations. Micro-foundations, this is how we can explain the macro level by focusing on the micro, which means in fact, individual behaviors, individual attitudes. So in case of the sustainable development, it's about how individuals, mainly employees in companies and customers, can contribute to sustainable development. And this shift has been observed in research worldwide, shift of the attention from institutional and macro level to individual levels like customer and employee behavior. And this is what I'm interested in. So the reason for the significance of these micro foundations of sustainable development is that all initiatives related to the environment and to the social problems should be embedded in the organizational strategy, organizational culture, and routines. So they are impossible to be implemented without real engagement of employees, the awareness of the problem. That's why it is so important, and that's why we can observe this growing interest of researchers in micro foundations. So, for example, there are different studies focused on ISO 14001, which is one of the standards for environmental management systems. So without employee engagement, it was impossible to implement truly this system, because employees need to engage in identifying environmental issues, documenting procedures, correcting non-compliance. So awareness and engagement of managers, employees, they impact every single process in organizations, including those focused on sustainability, because it's all about designing processes, making decisions, and then conducting all operations. They all are grounded in awareness and engagement of individual actors in the organizations. I do my research, as I told you, on employee green behaviors. So please, yes, thank you. So it's one of the constructs, terms used to name individual behaviors of employees that contribute to pro-environmental initiatives and actions in organizations. This construct, as you can see, is defined as all actions, individual actions at work that have an effect, positive or negative, on the natural environment. And there are different categories of such behaviors, and I would like to share with you some interesting results of my studies. In my research, I use mixed methods, so both qualitative and quantitative. And these results come from individual interviews. I really like a qualitative approach, because you can learn so much more than when you use questionnaires, because in questionnaires you ask questions, you receive answers, but in semi-structured interviews you can learn much more. Your interviewees can tell you so many things that you haven't expected. So based on these interviews, I learned something that frustrated me, I may say so, because we investigated 11 companies operating in various industries, from hospitality through banking to automotive, food and beverages. So 11 different industries, altogether 52 interviews. And most of our interviewees, when asked about how the individual work affect environment, they were referring to so-called 3R: recycling, reusing, reducing. So, for example, one of my interviewees said, "Oh yes, I take care of the environment, it's really my priority. So when I eat my lunch on plastic plates, I put it in the right recycling bin, which is located on my corridor." So it's really frustrating, frightening that individuals think that this is enough what they can do for the environment. Particularly because some of them also reported some counterproductive behaviors of the others. Like someone told, okay, so we have all these colorful trash bins in our company, so we can put plastic, cans, paper to separate bins, but then the cleaning lady comes and put everything to one bag. And what we call recycling in this case, it's not really recycling. Recycling would mean that we take resources and we use them again, so they circulate. They are used for the same purpose or different new purposes. Here it's only about waste management or using right bins, trash bins to separate different materials. So they were also referring to reducing, like mostly it was about switching off the lights or taking care of the water in bathrooms, or reusing, and in this case they were referring mostly to paper, that they use some already used paper to make some notes. So I guess we all can agree that it is far not enough to cope with the problems that we are facing. Hopefully, there are also other promising behaviors of some leaders. I would say they are new leaders in organizations. So what I propose to name this category of behavior green behaviors that go beyond 3R. And this is about making some suggestions, proposing new solutions, new materials, for example, and influencing the others to do the same for the environment. So there were some promising cases, like interviewees telling that when they purchase some goods, materials, products that are necessarily for the manufacturing, they look for pro-environmental alternatives. So this is what we really need to make real change. At the same time, there are those negative behaviors. In this case, I would say, fortunately, they are not active, harmful actions, harmful for the environment. Mostly, it's about refraining from pro-environmental behaviors. So, for example, not using this printed paper again for notes. So it's not so harmful at the end of the day. So that different categories, as you can see, and what we found to some extent in our study, but mostly it comes from other studies, from literature in the field, that these behaviors should be regarded as industry or job specific, For example, a study conducted in, sorry, I don't remember what industry it was, but it was dealing with some plastic materials. So some studies found that indeed it was about some individual perspective, psychological effects that made this waste management and dealing with plastic waste ineffective. Circularity principles, circular economy is a new concept, very promising, very practical solution for sustainability. So a study conducted in biotech and pharmaceutical companies proved that, again, it's all about employee engagement. Without satisfactory engagement, such solutions cannot be implemented. Very interesting line of studies, because I found many of them focused on construction industries. So, for example, one of the studies suggested that even 50% of construction waste, which is a lot when we think about construction waste, these are like tons of concrete. So it may be prevent if employees have this awareness of environmental problems. And another, well, in this case, it's rather job-specific research on purchasers. I found this very nice phrase to name them as the gatekeepers to the supply chain. So, in fact, these are employees who control and track resources. They, to large extent, they make decisions about what is purchased for the manufacturing process or whatever in the organization. And at the same time, they are included in all those networks connected with supply chains. So they can both promote sustainability among partners in supply chain, but also they can adopt solutions and they can learn from them and then bring such solutions to the organizations. So talking about industry and job specificity, we come closer to the topic of tourism. And well, body language of Ima convinced me that it's going to be about customers. But because we discussed this, we cooperate in this project. So I know that there are some examples about employees as well. Yes. But anyway, that's for the introduction. And now I give the floor to Imanuella.
Thank you very much. Please give a round of applause to Professor Aldona. Okay, so.
Should I? No, I can.
Yes, let's change. Okay, you gotta, yeah, there you go. Right, so like Aldona was saying earlier, that sustainable development goes into all these industries and how each industries should, be modeled, or the process should be within the scope of sustainability. Now we talk here we talk about tourism and how we define sustainable tourism. Yeah, so this is going back to the beginning of sustainable development. It comes about from the Brundtland report back in 1987. Yes, and where UNWTO made a definition, created a definition for what is sustainable tourism, which you can read there. Now, moving forward to last year, I put up the needle in a haystack. So last year, I wrote this book chapter, and I called it Needle in a Haystack, Defining Sustainable Tourism. After, reading much more about it, I realized I might have made a mistake with the title then, because it's not that, the expression needle in a haystack. Yeah, does anybody, people understand what needle in a haystack mean? You're trying to find a little thing in, something, yeah. Yeah, it's not really needle in the haystack when we're talking about definition of sustainable tourism, of what sustainable tourism is, because there's a lot of definition of it on sustainable tourism, what it should look like, yeah. So needle in the haystack, it certainly not is, but it's more about like looking for a candy in a candy store. So you can pinpoint like which industry. Every industry has their sort of definition, and each sort of academics depends on which aspect they want to focus on. They would make their definition. Aldona also mentioned about the three-pillar concept or the triple bottom line. Yeah, this came about because there's all this, definition, whirlwind of definitions around, and there is no consensus on it. So rather than, having this long discussion, debate of what it is, let's make it into a bite size, a concept where we can actually put into practice what sustainable tourism is. And so that's how the triple bottom line, or the three-pillar concept under sustainable tourism, came about. And, oops, okay. So the three-pillar concept, or triple bottom line, we talk about the economic sustainability, social sustainability, environmental sustainability. Yeah, all these three pillars, three aspects, they should go hand in hand. Yeah, it's all of them together as a package should be focused on when we're talking about sustainable tourism. Unfortunately, yeah, I say, my personal opinion, it's unfortunate that it has to come down to, this bite-size concept, because in practice, how this is translated is also bite-size, yeah. In a way, it's what Aldona mentioned about the micro foundation. So explaining the macro through the micro, looking through the micro. This is the same sort of similar effect of having the three-pillar concept or the triple bottom line applied in the industry, in tourism industry, which translates into ecotourism, or desa wisata as we know it, or anything that is sort of eco or destination, like small, really small pieces, small bite size, yeah, that's put into practice. But in fact, all aspects of tourism should be sustainable, yeah. And we're talking about from the moment, we go on travel, when we plan something, yeah. So let me ask, is anybody starting their holiday soon? Are you on holiday, or you're probably on holiday and dragged into the room? There's 2 people on holiday here. Me too. Not yet. Starting soon. So you guys are going to be on holiday? Yeah, soon? All right. Anybody planning to go somewhere different? Yeah? Where are you going? Bali. Okay. Are you from Bali? No, you're going there on holiday. Excellent. Okay. Anybody going home to see their family? Anybody? Mostly? Okay. Right. So, your holiday starts when are you leaving? No. When do you leave for your holiday? Tomorrow. Okay. Well, thanks for coming. I wouldn't be coming now. So yeah, when your holiday should start, like from when you make the decision to go on the holiday, right? And in all those aspects, yeah. Well, I'll talk about like where in more detail about where the holiday, or you as a tourist, begin and where you end, yeah. But in all those aspects, yeah, sustainable tourist behavior talks about how you as a tourist or potential tourist, yeah, and when we talk about tourists, it's not really just like, oh, when you get on that ferry, I assume you get catching? Or you going, okay. It doesn't start from when you catch the ferry and, oh, now I'm a tourist, or when you arrive in Bali that, oh yeah, now I'm a tourist. No, it starts from, oh, I need my, toothbrush or shampoo for the trip, and, that's when you as a tourist begin, yeah? And those are when you have to start thinking about how to be sustainable in your tourist behavior, yeah, as a tourist. Okay, so now what is sustainable tourist behavior, yeah? So there are issues. Again, there is no consensus about what is sustainable tourist behavior. It's as varied, yeah. It's the same as sustainable tourism. It's just, having the umbrella and like all that, the trickle down. If the top is not really clear, it kind of all trickles down. But okay, some people think that's problematic. Some people, would think, well, let's just move on and put it, into practice, what we can implement. From my research, though, most of, when the scholars try to define what is tourist behavior, they tend to focus on the environment, yeah? Flashback to the triple bottom line, yeah? The 3-pillar concept. You have economic sustainability, social sustainability, and environmental sustainability. Many of the definition focuses on the environment only, yeah? Like what Aldona was saying. Well, yes, I recycle, I put my plastic, my plastic plate after I have my lunch in the proper bin, yeah? Can anybody spot the irony in that? The irony is that they're using plastic paper, plastic plate, yeah? There's nothing to be proud of saying, oh, I put it in the right bin, Yes, why did you even have to use a plastic plate in the first place, yeah? So, yeah. I'm sorry, Pak Wakil Dekan, like all these plastic things also, right? Isn't it ironic though, as well? We go to the supermarket, right? And they say, oh no, you got to bring your own paper, your own bag for shopping, you know? Otherwise, we'll charge you for the plastic bag, right? But all the things that you buy are wrapped in plastic, right? And that's ironic. Things need to be changed, right? And I think, again, with the Micro Foundation, you know, it starts from us, yeah? And my study focus is on how tourists, us, all of us, you know, in our lifetime, you know, we've been tourists, we've always, you know, even there's a definition of visitors, you know, I'm just making it a broad sense of, you know, all tourists. You go to, I don't know, some viral hotspot, or like selfie place that is, you know, you go there for a visit with your friends, and yeah, you're a tourist, right? Okay, so moving on, there's this other point of contention, yeah? So how do we define this sustainable tourist behavior? There's, you know, the loosely and the strict definition of it. You know, just to have the intention, yeah? The loosely defined sustainable tourist behavior would be, oh, I intend to, you know, to be sustainable. I have the intention, the mere intention of behaving sustainably. In some instance, would loosely be translated into, oh, okay, this is sustainable behavior. In the strict sense on how a person should behave sustainably would be when they make a decision, right? To travel, a person that really is strictly environmentally friendly, they might feel, well, if I travel, yeah, I'm going to create carbon emission. So I prefer not to go on a trip. I will go, you know, have vacation where, you know, walking distance or cycling distance, yeah? That's the really strict aspect of being sustainable. But country like us, Indonesia, if we don't have tourists here that would fly all the way across the globe, you know, to come and visit our island, support our tourism industry, you know, if everybody is that strict, and then we also suffer, right? So I guess I would be somewhere in the middle, but it's also important to see the motivation, yeah, behind the actual eventual sustainable behavior. What I mean here is, like, for example, a person makes the decision to go to a destination. Well, they have the option of taking the plane, for example, to Bali, yeah? I'm just picking on you here. To go to Bali, how many ways that we can get there? We can fly, right? Or take the ferry, yeah? If we fly, yeah, well, what are the, you know, the cost is quite hefty, especially nowadays. It's crazy. But it's faster, yeah. But ferry takes oh my God, 6 hours, yeah, good luck with that. And so, but yes, the price is way, 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 way cheaper, yeah. Now, it might be, I don't know, if the ferry, it might have, it may create less carbon emission, yeah, than flying a plane just like 30 minutes, across the channel. And I assume it's not that many people flying out at the moment. Now, does that mean, if two people taking the ferry, yeah, one person takes the ferry because their motivation is the cost. Okay, it's cheaper if I take the ferry. Now, another person say, well, it's not about the money, yeah, but it's more that taking the ferry means I produce less carbon emission, less carbon footprint if I take the ferry. At the end of the day, both of these people are taking the ferry. Now, question is, does it really matter what motivates you to actually do or have the same behavior? Yes and no. Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay. Yeah. Yes, all of them, that's fine. Okay, yeah. Right. So this is what I was talking about, like where do we start as a tourist? Yeah. Okay, so we have, taking into consideration the three-pillar concept. Economic sustainability, what's the other one? Students, do you want your certificate? Okay, the person that can scream out the 3 pillars will get a prize. One day, you have a, no, I got, I'll give you a prize. Okay. No, student. Yeah. What's that? Just yes. Super. Okay. Write your name. I'll send you an email. Okay. Excellent. Did you teach him? Okay. So yes, again, those 3 pillars, yeah? When we talk about all these domains, yeah? We start off with the travel. How far or how close I want to travel? What motivates me to travel? Why are you going to Bali? Okay. All right. To do what? What will you be doing there? Oh, to go to the beach. Okay, excellent. Our beach is much better here, huh? but okay. Yeah, so the motivation behind, deciding to travel, yeah, that's also part of being, sustainable. You make the conscious decision of, I'm going to travel, how far or how short a distance, and what is behind that, yeah. And is it like, am I going there to find, new things? All those motivations, it does matter, yeah. And like I mentioned, you you start thinking about, okay, I'm going to go camping. These two are going camping. You're not going to bring a big bottle of shampoo or whatever, right? You're going to need like a smaller, what do? You go to the shop and buy those sachet shampoo. Does anybody do that? Yeah? The small sachet, one plastic use? Yes. Well, that would be the last time. Yes, because, you're just creating waste. Yeah? You cannot, yes, you might put it in the correct bin. Yeah? But it's something that you shouldn't have put in that bin in the first place. Right? So that's how you can see where, how you behave. Yeah? What would be the best? What would be the best alternative in this case? Get a small bottle that you can reuse. Put the shampoo that you have at home, you put it in that bottle and then, reuse it. Okay? Those would be, I wouldn't suggest you share a toothbrush. Okay? That's not something you should reuse. But things like bottles, the minimize your plastic consumption. Okay? So again, this is, but if the motivation is to go visit family, maybe you don't need to bring even shampoo and stuff like that, right? Because they might have it there, right? So yes, in that way, the motivation to travel is important, yeah? So here we have what's expected of you to have, to be sustainably, to have sustainable behavior as a tourist. The reality, still buy the sachet thing, okay? Transportation. Again, how do you decide? What motivates you in deciding which mode of transportation to take? And when you're at the destination, do you walk? Do you take ojek? Yeah? Do you take, do you rent a car or, yeah? Those also decision, yeah, would determine how you behave. If that would be a sustainable behavior or not. Accommodation, same thing, yeah? Do you opt for a cheaper accommodation that is like, in some corner of the, city that you have to take, because it's cheap, but to go to places, you need to rent motorcycle, or you need to, or does it make more sense to pay a bit more that is closer to the places that you want to go to visit, and it's a walking distance, you don't create waste, you don't, all these things. Now, circling back to the 3 pillar, okay, we have the social sustainability. What does that mean? That we support local businesses, yeah? Would you go to, according to the 3 pillar concept, supporting local businesses, yeah, is more sustainable. Okay? So it does matter if the accommodation is locally owned or foreign owned. Yeah, according to the 3 pillar concept. Now, in my research, though, I'm doing a qualitative approach. So, in my interview with my participants, some of them mentioned that, well, yes, they would like to, they have the intention to support local businesses, local owners, yeah. But the reality is, they said, the foreign owned accommodations are much more well managed, right? So it's comfort against, this sense of, morality of supporting, like, well, I'm on holiday not every time of the year. This is like, it's me time. I want to be comfortable. I want to, to stay in a nice, clean place, and, and they said, well, yeah, and I find that a lot when the accommodation is foreign owned. Okay? So that's a dilemma. That's a homework for the tourism industry, tourism practitioners, that yes, you need to know the kind of market you are catering to, and how to best serve them. Yeah. The destination, choosing which destination. Has it ever occurred to you to choose destination that says, oh, sustainable destination? Has anybody browsed or looked that up before? Like, oh, I only want to go to destinations that are sustainable. That says, maybe, maybe not. Okay, so these are something that, it's expected, but the reality, unfortunately, not many, there's the intention of doing it, but reality says different thing. The same as tourist attractions, okay? Through my research also, depends on certain types of attraction, if it's more risky, yeah. Some people find it more comforting to know that, this attraction or this sort of activity, yeah, like diving, for example. Some people feel, well, diving is a risky, has a risk to it, and they feel much safer if they dive as a foreigner in a foreign country. They feel they're much safer if they can dive with somebody who understands them, and speak their language, and like actually, no, because they feel underwater. Yes, because that's true. They have all this sign language. But yes, there is that sort of sense of, security. There's one participant told me he went to Thailand. He goes to Thailand a lot, and then he's Australian, and he went on a flying fox. Right? There was this attraction. There's a flying fox. And it's like everybody was, the local people that was attending the attraction, the activity. But then he read, he's actually afraid of heights. So, yeah. And then he read this little, fine print somewhere. And it says that it's the flying fox, equipment and everything is managed by some French company. And immediately his fear was gone. Because he thought, oh, well, yeah, this is European standard. So there is that sense of security, yeah, that, some people would find that, well, if it's managed by other countries that are more well known to be, to have safe or safer requirements, and the customers, the tourists would feel much safer as well. So again, that's the reality that we need to face, when in fact local people should also be given the power, the training to have that standard as well. Okay, food and beverages. Do you go to your holiday to just try McDonald's? Or do you go to the warung? Yeah, support the local people. You drink the bamboo coffee, like we did yesterday. It was, really, really nice. Yeah, Gunggalang. Is that how you say it? Gunggalang? Yes. That's the best coffee bamboo I've ever had. Well, I've only had that once, but it's really nice. Yeah. Yes. So we are live on YouTube. Yeah. Go to Gunggalang. Yes, you can find them on Instagram as well. Yes. Really nice place. So, this supporting the local businesses, yeah? Some people might think like, oh, it's ick, not clean, Yes, some maybe, yeah. But yes, it is very important, and to support local businesses. The last part, souvenirs. Yeah, when you go, okay, I have to explain this to Aldona and Shemek. In Indonesia, it's very, very, very common, and in fact, it's expected that when you go on a vacation, you come back from a vacation, you bring what we call oleh-oleh, which is souvenir. Okay, I'm just going to tell this story. My mother-in-law is not going to watch this. So when I came back from Poland 2 weeks ago, saw my mother-in-law, first thing she said, what do you say? What do you think she would say the first thing she saw me? Huh? Mana oleh-olehnya? Exactly, they all know. Yes. Mana oleh-olehnya, which is, where is the souvenirs? No, oh, how are you, Ima? Or are you better? Are you good? Or, no. Mana oleh-oleh? Where is the oleh-oleh? No. So that's yeah, exactly. That's why she asked. But yes, that's the culture here. Yeah. So it's a huge culture to buy souvenirs. Now, what kind of souvenirs would you buy? You go all the way to Poland to buy something made in China. Give you plastic, I don't know, magnet. Well, if it's made in Poland, that's fine. But if it's made in China, well, you don't know either. Yeah. So again, these are the sustainable behavior, way of thinking, decision making. Yeah. That I would like to take this time to encourage you to think, yeah, for your upcoming holiday or visit to somewhere, yeah, to think about all these aspects, yeah. There's sustainable ways on how you can, lower your carbon footprint and not just buy, plastic waste. And well, I'm glad there is no, it's in your snack box. No, I am so allergic to those glass water thing, I think you got to do something about that. Yeah, it's a lot of waste. Yeah, yes, it's convenient. Yeah, but these things last way longer than we're all gone. So before I close, I'd like to leave you with some food for thought. Charity begins at home, which means, however way you act outside, it starts inside and your home, how you behave at home, and that can project to how you treat other people or the society when you go out, talking about tourism here, when you go out on vacation, yeah? If you behave sustainably at home, right, and build that habit of, like, when you leave your bedroom, do you turn the, lights off? When you brush your teeth, do you keep the water running? Yeah? All these things, to think consciously about how you behave. And then when you go out, keep maintaining that habit. Yeah? Who smokes in this room? Who's a smoker? Hands up. My hands are up, you guys are not being honest. Hands up who smokes. Me? I'm the only one who smokes in this room? Seriously, guys? Okay. Another one, two. All right. Come on, hands up. Not in this room, yes. Who smokes outside of this room? Okay. You guys, no. Well, my question is, when was the last time that you smoke and you just throw it, your cigarette butt, you just throw it on the ground? Okay, I hope you haven't, or you didn't, yeah? But those kind of behavior, yeah? If you keep, because you expect, or somebody's going to sweep it up, that sort of attitude, yeah? You will bring it also to other places, okay? So I encourage you, charity begins at home. Think about your decisions. And knowledge is power. Now you are given this knowledge about how you are, the expectation to behave as a sustainable tourist. Yeah? You know this now. Do something about it. Yeah? Because knowledge is power. Okay? And last but not least, this is the only planet we have. Yeah? You guys would probably, one day, not in the near future, I hope, to have your own family. Yeah? Well, things have changed a lot since, I was a kid. So you can imagine, yeah, if things don't radically change, yeah, and yeah, it starts from us, yeah, micro foundation, charity, with yourself, begins at home. What hope do we have for this planet? Okay, so I will end it with that thought. Matur tampiasi. Terima kasih. Dziękuję. Oh, questions? Ah, okay, right. Oh, okay. Anybody wants? Does anybody have any questions? Your friend wants to ask something, not you. Okay, who is your friend that wants to ask the question? Do you want to ask a question?
Excuse
have a
me,
question?
miss. Maybe
Yes.
I want to give us some question. I'm here.
Who? Oh, yeah, okay. Yes.
It is okay if I am give the question also?
Sure, of course.
Okay. Okay, but before it, I want to say sorry because I think it is a little bit long question.
Okay.
Before I give it my question, maybe I want to introduce a little bit myself. My name is Rara. I'm a management major focused on human research, human research or human capability. What are the key determinants of the efficiency of ISO 14001 implementation, and why is employee engagement crucial in this process? Why also employee behavior considered key in achieving sustainable development goals? Maybe just for me. Thank you so much.
So thank you for this question. I understand this is question to my field. So very briefly speaking, every single procedure, policy, routine in the organization is based on human behavior. So these are humans who conduct the operations. They are making decisions. They are making choices, like Ima explained for tourism. So that's why engagement, awareness of problems is so important. And determinants is a very interesting question. Thank you for this. In fact, there is a lot of studies considering individual determinants. For example, our personality can to some extent influence our behaviors related to sustainable development. But it's also about our knowledge, our awareness about the problems, like environmental or social problems. They come from our knowledge. For example, myself, I must tell you that I became a vegetarian. It's been almost 4 years now that I'm vegetarian. And it's because I started to do my research on sustainable development. So I learned so much about how food industry contributes to environmental pollution. So I decided I will not contribute to this. So knowledge, so individual factors, but there are also organizational level determinants. For example, you said you are interested in human resource management. So we have this concept of green HRM, which is about implementing this environmental dimension to all steps in the process of HRM through recruitment, selection, training, etc., focusing on some competencies that are required for pro-environmental issues. And on top of this, we have macro levels still. Of course, we talked here about these micro foundations, but law and culture and some other macro level determinants, they are also powerful in building this awareness, engagement, and competencies in green issues.
Thank you so much for answering that. Maybe anyone who have question again? Anyone, please
Any
up your
other-
hand if you have it. Okay, two of them are how, miss? How many question?
Two?
Two? Okay, it's fixed. Two of them.
Yes. Make it sustainable, please.
I'm so sorry.
No.
Okay. Good afternoon. I'm Aditya Kurniawan from Management major. Okay, my question is, how we just make a sustainability environment, but in fact, mostly of our activities is made from just don't support that. Because if we just make it example is, our government is touting us to buy and use electric cars. But in fact, we charge our electric cars from electricity is made what made from gas power plant. This is horrible because this is just like tidak berguna. Yeah, useful, yeah. Useless, yeah. That is my question is how we just make a sustainability environment if the fact is that. Okay, thank you. Sorry for my English.
Oh, excellent. I applaud your bravery. Let me just quickly answer that. And I hear you. I've been, it's beyond me. I'm flabbergasted how we in Indonesia, full of sun, yet it's so difficult to get solar panel, and it's so expensive to put up a solar panel in the house. I've researched it. I've asked many places, and to put something for my house, for example, I wouldn't get the investment back in like maybe 30 years. I mean, it's ridiculous. It makes no sense. So yes, to your point, and it's something that I didn't mention before, but how people behave, how people behave sustainably or not, is determined a lot by habit, and this habit can be created through, government regulation mandating certain types of behavior and making allowances for saving the environment more than just economic benefit for the PLN, would. So I don't want to encourage riot or anything here, but yes, there's a lot of government involvement, mindset that needs to be changed in this, to the point of your question, in fact, like what my husband decided, like, well, he doesn't think that he loves motorcycle, but he said, well, the technology for the electric motorcycle at the moment is not that good, and in fact you buy it and then the battery would last like 2 years or something, and you need to buy the whole lot. It's cost a lot more than just buying a new motorcycle, and then that just creates waste. Yeah. So I think as an individual, I would suggest don't buy it. Yeah, because your management, I'm sure you're taught marketing. Yeah, there's supply and demand. If there's no demand, supply is going to dissipate. So, yeah. Yeah.
I would like to add another dimension to this. Who is the government? These are individuals, so they must be knowledgeable and motivated to implement the right regulations. And if not now, you are our new hope. I believe in this classroom we have at least a few future governors, ministries, or governmental officers. So that's why we talk about these issues.
Okay, I hope that I can answer your question, okay? One more again. The last one. Choose one. Oh, it's a lot of. Who is that? This guy? Okay.
Well, hello, good afternoon. Okay, excuse me before. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for this special opportunities to ask some question. I'm Ipan from Management Department focused on human resource. I just want to ask about how does sustainable development make economic sense for society? And what can I do or what we can do as a citizen for development to be more sustainable than before? Okay, thank you. Maybe that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. So to your question, how do we make it sustainable if we're not just talking about the economy? Yeah. Well, look, the point of sustainability is that there's things for future time, for longer period of time that would actually keep the economy running. Okay, we're talking about longer term, right? So, in fact, if you want to have longer sustainable economy, the way to do it, like you want more benefit, more bucks for your money, more if you produce something, you want to have that sustainable. More people can buy it, a lot more, But if you don't do it sustainably, you might get like, a lot of purchase in the beginning, but then, no more. Because either the sources are diminishing, or, people think that, you are not contributing, So, let me put it this way. We'll look from the tourism perspective, okay? If you don't, as a tourism provider, If we just say, okay, now I want people to come to my hotel. This is my personal experience. Just recently, I was in Bali, and I stayed at this same hotel, twice in a row. Last year I went there as well. And then this hotel, like in most hotels, nowadays, they have this key card, right? This key card that you put in the slot in the room to turn the lights on and off. If you go, you take it out, everything automatically turns off. Air conditioning, everything. Why is that? The hotel puts it there so they can minimize electric consumption. Minimizing electric consumption means less cost for the hotel, and it's much environmentally friendly. It's more environmentally friendly. Okay, so this has all this economic benefit. But yet, you know, at this hotel that I stayed at, yeah, they see it differently though. They think that, well, it's, they told me when I checked in, Miss, if you want your room to remain nice and cool, you can just put another card in the slot to keep the air conditioning running. I was flabbergasted. I was like, why would you say that to me? You know, that's a, I don't know why I'm saying this to you, but anyway, now everybody knows. This is the trick. Yes, but not to do. Because she said, well, no, because we want you to be comfortable. So they don't mind that, you know, they pay this extra to make me comfortable. But again, because there's all this competition, yeah, they're competing with all these other hotels and they want to retain this customer, you know. So yeah, that's it becomes problematic. But really, if you want to, you know, if you want to have a longer economic benefit, you know, the way to do it is to behave sustainably. Yeah. Maybe one more from the middle.
One more for the last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You or you?
One question again for the last.
The girl
change.
then.
Oh, you?
Okay. We haven't had a lady question.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for. I'm from Tourism Department and my name is Nimade Duardianti. My question is, how can sustainable tourism practices help protect natural and cultural resources while providing economic benefit to local communities?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Okay. How can sustainable tourism practices help protect natural and cultural resources while providing economic benefits to local community?
Community. Okay. So, how does the sustainable tourism? Okay. Well, I have an expert here that can answer your question, a practitioner, in fact. Naya. Would you be so kind? You can come up here and no. Naya, come down. Come on down. Yeah, you can. Does it work? No? Oh, okay.
Thank you. Okay, first things first, thank you so much, Ibu Ima, for the chance for me to speak. I wouldn't say that I'm an expert, but as a practitioner with a few years of experience in only one place, in Ganglang village, I will give my humble insight, if I may. Thank you so much. So how do we protect the heritage and culture while promoting it through sustainable tourism, but also have the economic benefits that we want, the social benefits that we want as well? Looking at a case study in Ganglang village, they are promoting, for example, number one, the local museum. So they collected all of the artifacts, they collected all of the, the heritages from the families and donated it to a person who is making a museum in the local village. And this museum is for free for tourists. But you can give a donation to help with the museum. And in that process, they attract visitors to come see the history of the village. And the local person, his name is Amit Khalid, and he talks about the history of the village, about the awik-awik, or the rules, the local customs. He interacts with the tourists. He interacted with our visitors here, our professors from UMK, and he established a very personal connection with them and gave a taste of local hospitality. And he has done this numerous times. And I will give you an example of the impact of his efforts. He did not have much money to make this, but he worked with the local governments, he worked with the national governments, and there are donations to build this museum. And with that, there is more research about the awik-awik and about the North Lombok customs. And with that, there are more visitors. And finally, 2 months ago, he got a donation to build 2 bathrooms near the museum. And this impacted, of course, not only him, but the locals to be construction workers, also to have better facilities for the people who want to come to this museum. Now, this is not the only example from the village, but it is one of the powerful ways in which local initiatives can spread awareness, not only around the village, but to us as the students and also to the international community of how preserving the culture only, attracts in an economic benefit, but creates a connection that becomes the key for more sustainable tourism in the future. I hope that answers the question. Thank you.
Thank you, Naya. I couldn't say it much better myself. I think we can end this lecture today. I thank you all for making your time. I know most of you are already on holidays right now, and we both appreciate very much you guys coming out this afternoon. And to Pak Diswandi, Ibu Kajur, thank you very much for all your help. And yes, I hope to be back soon. Yes, without the candidate bit, you can drop that. Yes, so thank you very much for Professor Aldona for sharing the stage here with me and supervising me all through this research. And Professor Neri for coming and supporting us as well. Yes, and I think that's all from us. Thank you very much. Dziękuję. Do widzenia. Bye.
Thank you to Professor Aldona and Ms. Imanuella for the enlightening presentation. Let me convey the conclusion of the delivery of the material that has been conveyed. The little conclusion about the topic that already delivered is talking about sustainable tourist behavior, expectation versus reality. Emphasize the importance of individual actions and organizational management in promoting sustainable practice. It highlights the need for employee green behaviors, industry or job specificity in implementing circular solution, and the role of purchasers are gatekeepers to the supply chain. And that topic underscores the significance of micro-foundation in sustainable development, emphasizing the awareness and engagement at all levels of an organization are crucial for driving positive change towards sustainability. And now we're going to move to the next agenda. We will now like to express our gratitude to our speakers. I invite Mr. Diswandi, Ph.D. to come forward and present the plaque of appreciation to our speakers. I think in front of us, yes, more formal for this session. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, once again, together, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, done. Thank you so much. As we come to the end of our program, I would like to thank everyone for attendance and participation. This concludes our event. We hope you found it informative and enjoyable. Have a wonderful day ahead. Wabillahi taufiq walhidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.